Did it ever cross your mind, or did you guys ever have the conversation about messing with people, like going from set to the woods and just seeing what happens?
There were a couple times where we'd be sitting on the road, like our chairs were set up, that we would wait in on the main road, and truck drivers would pass by, and we'd be sitting there, and I never got to catch their faces, but I'm sure that it was funny.
Yeah, I wonder if there's just some video out there of somebody that has no idea that you guys were filming a movie. They're just like, I think I saw 3 Sasquatches sitting in. And
the thing is they would have seen Sasquatches in human clothes sitting in chairs, because we would a lot of the time we would unzip ourselves and take our arms out because we'd get hot or have to go to the bathroom.
In between like the takes, we'd also have to get like a reapplication of glue on our faces because something would, change during these kind of very physically heavy scenes. What'd you say?
It would pop off.
Yes, exactly. A mustache would pop off or something. So like actually, if somebody passed us on the road, they would see Sasquatches getting their makeup touched up, which is also a strange part of the mythology.
And I think David also said that there was at one point there was a jogger or a runner that passed by.
Yeah.
And she just like flew right past set, didn't even look. She just kept on her jog and was not interested in set at all.
Were you guys like in Willow Creek? Because that just might be normal for them.
Yeah, exactly. We were shooting in the area where Sasquatches are thought to be, and so maybe for somebody who saw us, maybe it finally affirmed the thing they've always hoped.
Rent is cheapest for Sasquatches out there.
That's
actually.
true. Yeah.
So I feel like this is normally a cliche question, but I really want to know, when this project comes to you, what is your first thought?
From the moment I read this, really thought it was the right thing to do. So I was just so excited by this, and it was just such a unique opportunity that to me felt like just really excited me and made me a little nervous. I didn't know if I could do it. It's like a kind of frightening thing to play a Sasquatch, and it's a lot. Like we had to do a lot of wild things, and so I was a little nervous about my ability to do it. I think that was probably my number one concern.
It's a really kind of hard movie to pitch, and like now that we're in it, I'm pitching it to people, my friends and family, and it's still it's tough. It's like the kind of thing you just have to see. So in my case, I'm friends with David Zellner, who wrote it, and he called me, and he's very sweetly self-deprecating. So he says, I don't know if you'll like this, but I wrote this thing, and it's, you're kind of playing Sasquatches, so there's no dialogue. And because he pitched it in this kind of low-key way, it sounded bad or a one-off joke or something. But then when I read it, and within the page, you're like, oh my God, this thing is so brilliant. It's so funny. It's so emotional. It's so unique and also so relatable. It puts everything in perspective. And so now that we're talking about the movie, it's the kind of thing where it's so hard to describe what it is because it sounds so absurd that it exists in the first place. But after people see it, they realize, oh yeah, it's just as relatable, just as funny, just as dramatic as a movie with people. It's just this kind of skewed premise.
Yeah. Well, Christophe, how do you describe the movie?
I describe it as, I think I lean on the tagline of it's a year in the life of a singular family. I think that's the most brilliant way to put it, because it's about Sasquatches, but it's about all of the things Sasquatch that you have never seen them do in the wild. You've seen them kind of walk through trees, or maybe heard them howl on some Sasquatch hunters video or something like that. I love the deep dive into what is the Sasquatch humanity of this family, and how do they interact and get along and live their lives in the forest.
Well, there's that infamous Bigfoot shot where that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How did that play into how you were kind of informing your characters as you were crafting them?
Yeah, for sure. That video was sent to us along with a number of other Sasquatch encounter videos, and then also ape videos about how apes move, because the Zellners really wanted to. They've studied Sasquatch, I think, for a very, very long time, and so they really understood that the Sasquatch is somewhere in between human and ape, and so it's not just going to have human actions and human body movements. So I think that those videos were extremely informative for me.
The idea is like to take that video that you're referring to. It's the Patterson Gimlin. It's Gimlin.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like to take that video, which is everybody's kind of unconscious thought about the, that would be your instinctive thought when you hear about a Sasquatch. It would be like from that video, and take that and then see what that character is doing after that video ends. The character is probably looking for food. And then what does it take when they're looking for food? What does it mean when they're interacting with a group of people? And who are those people? And like the daily strivings for that. So instead of having the movie focus on like the human being's perspective on this mercurial creature, it's actually, what is this mercurial creature doing in the familiar private life?
So the film premiered at Sundance. Congratulations on that, by the way. But what sense were you getting around how people would respond to it? How were you feeling going in? And what did you make of the response to the film when it premiered?
Just like so relieved that people saw in it what we saw. This is like the kind of movie that when you're thinking about it feels kind of niche, like, because we loved it so much and felt like everybody on set had this feeling like, oh, this is made for me. This movie is my thing. Like, this is exactly what I would want to see. I can't believe somebody's making it. But it turns out like a lot of people have that same feeling, and it's just like kind of a relief.
After we shot the film and before it came out, when that period where you can't talk about it at all, I would randomly like run into folks, more so than I ever have, who said that they would have a Sasquatch button on a backpack or on their shirt, and I was like, oh, are you a fan of Sasquatch? And they would just they were so happy that somebody asked about their Sasquatch button, and this happened to so many people, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's a film that's coming out in a year that's you're definitely going.